Alright guys, so tonight I am actually recording two videos. If I am uploading these the way I think I am, then the previous one, which I will also leave somewhere around here for you to guys go watch that. It was a little more me ranting, just trying to clear my head a little. But now I really want to make a little bit more of a serious video. Not necessarily serious, but just a little more intense than that previous one. If you guys go watch another video that Matthew just posted a few days ago, link in the description below for the video as well as his YouTube channel. He put out a thank you video for I don't know why he put it out, but man, last week I was having such a hard week. Things were happening at work, things were happening here at home, and it was my last day of work. I was super stressed because some of my coworkers were just, they weren't being assholes, and pardon the language, but they were making my job harder. And literally, I tried to watch it during work, but I was just too caught up in it. And then at the end of my shift, I stopped in my car. I was about to leave, and I was like, you know what? I want to watch Matt's video. And I watched it. And he posted a thank you video for, spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't watched it yet. He just posted a thank you video saying thank you to me, to Ryland, to Bosco, to JJ, which is pretty much our friend group. That's who we play with. That's who I get to talk to every time I get on my PlayStation, you know? And I was thinking to myself, well, man, even through the shittiest times that I go through, I still have those guys to count on, you know? So I sort of wanted to do a little bit of a, I don't know, like a response video. And I was thinking to myself, or I am thinking to myself, why am I making this video? Is it for views? Is it for the people? No. This video, I'm sorry to say, if this somehow reaches anybody, isn't for you. It's not for the views. It's not for the subscribers. It's not for the likes, dislikes. This is just to remember these feelings, because I think that we go through life way too fast. I mean, it seems really short when we're living through it, but at some point in this life, we think to ourselves, where did it all go? I mean, we go through days where we go through so many emotions, and yet the next day we just forget all about it, right? So I'm making this video to remember what it felt like at that moment. I really wish I could have recorded it at that moment. I didn't have the time. I had to drive home. I was really tired. I'm not a guy that cries easy. I do tear up to emotional stuff. I won't lie, especially that like sentimental family stuff those videos that you see on Facebook. They get to me, but I never cry. But with Matt's video, when he posted it, what I was going through, what I felt, it made me tear up. I cried a little, not hardcore cried, but a few tears ran down my eyes, because I forget how amazing my friends are. So I wanted to do a little bit of a response video to that. For starters, I want to say so many thank yous to my friend, my brother from another mother, Matt. I was gonna say Matthew, and I stopped in the middle. My brother Matt. I've known him for 3.5, almost 4 years now. Every time I get on my PlayStation, I really look forward to partying up with him, talking to him, playing with him. And every time that I get on, I forget about the world, and I forget about my problems. And he's always been such a good friend to me. We've been through thick and thin. My brother's already met Matthew and Ryland, Adam, so I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to see him when my brother did, but I'm really looking forward to the day where I get to see him in person, and I get to give him a handshake, a hug, and personally tell him, thank you very much for everything you've done. I was the original person that got into YouTube from our, friend group, but he's the one who stayed consistent. He's the one who uploads videos pretty much as he can whenever he has content. He stays consistent with it, and even though I am older, he is such a huge role model in my life, and I really hope to someday, be able to meet him, be able to create content with him, and just connect in a better level, Another friend I want to say thank you very much to is Ryland, my other brother, my brother from another mother. Same, I've known him for a little less. We used to have a friend group back then that was a little different if you go back to my older videos. But Ryland, I may know him less, but I feel like I know him the same. I've known him for less time, but I feel like I know him in the same level. Same thing. Every time I get on, he usually tends to stay with the offline mode on. So whenever I join PlayStation, I create a party and I just send that invite to all my friends because I don't know if they're on or off. And it's always nice to see him get on. Same thing with him. Whenever I talk with him, whenever I play with him, I forget about my issues and I feel like I live a little happier. And he's just an amazing friend, both Matthew and Ryland. And I want to thank him so much for everything that they've done for me. Ryland's also starting up his YouTube channel. He's doing it little by little. But same with him. I really hope that someday I get to meet him. I get to give him that handshake, get to give him that hug and say thank you very much for everything you've done for me. Sorry if I'm not speaking loud enough. My throat's a little dry and I want to do this without cutting it so that way, it's more natural. What else? My other friends. Bosco. Jeez. That kid. Let me tell you, he's that little cousin that, sometimes gets annoying, sometimes gets on your nerves, but at the end of the day, he always makes you smile one way or another. I love that guy to death. Sometimes he does do stupid stuff, and sometimes I do get mad at him, but you know what? He always asks if I'm proud of him, and I do want to say that I'm always proud of him, no matter what he does. I hear so much of what he's going to do with his future. He talks to me about his problems. Just today, we were talking about him going to prom and asking a girl out, and it just made me feel like the big brother of this group. And I love that feeling. I love being able to help these guys in any way out. So Bosco, thank you very much for everything you've done for me. I hope we get to meet as well someday and give you that handshake, give you that hug. Thank you very much, brother. And last but not least, JJ. Now JJ, I'm not as close to as the other guys. I've known him for less time, but he's a good guy. I really like him. He's really good to play with. He always makes me smile. Sometimes he makes me cringe a little, but not as much as Bosco. He's a really good guy that at the end of the day I can talk to him. He's a little more closer to my age, so he knows a little more of my problems. And I'm going to be moved to LA. He actually lives in LA, so hopefully I get to meet him sooner rather than later. Just give him a handshake, give him a hug. Thank you very much for everything you've done. And last but not least, my brother, Adam, my actual brother from the same mother, Adam. If you're watching this video, bro, we haven't talked in a while. Not in a bad way, you guys. It's just that he's really focused with school right now. He wants to play basketball professionally, and he's training really hard. And I'm really proud of you, bro. For everything you're trying to do, for how hard you're working for how hard you're trying to work to accomplish your dreams. And all I can tell you is, man, keep it up. This world right now, it sucks. And the way you're coming at it, it's not going to be able to hold you back, Adam. So just work hard, play hard, and I'd like to say I'd love to see you grow up more, but hell, you're already taller than me. And yes, guys, he is 16 and he's taller than his 19-year-old brother. So, every Christmas, pretty much, hopefully this summer, I get to give you that handshake. I get to give you that hug. We have our little secret handshake as well. And I get to tell you that I love you, man. And I love you with all my soul, all my heart. And I really look forward to seeing you when you make it all the way to the top. This video is a little longer. And, like I said, I'm not making this for you. I'm not making this for anyone. I'm not making it for the views, for the subscribers. I'm making it to show my children someday, and just tell them, you know what? That day, not technically this day, but a few days ago, that moment, I felt what the world would be like if it was just good, and I hope that someday my children can live to that day as well, where they can be like, you know what, I'm surrounded by the best people I could be surrounded by, not necessarily physically, but mentally, emotionally I am. And I just think that's amazing, and I think that's worth sharing. So if you made it all the way through the 11 minutes of the video, thank you very much. And I just hope that someday you can feel the way I do. And if you've already felt it, then you know why. You know the reason why I'm making this video. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. If not, oh well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So have a good day, guys.